Good morning, one and all present here. I am Nandhini, working as an assistant professor in SNS College of Engineering at the Department of Computer Science and Technology. Today, we are going to see a topic on Database Management System, Unit 1, Introduction to DBMS. In that, we are going to see what is Entity and Relational Model. The agenda of this is we are going to see what is Entity Relational Model, purpose of ER model, advantages and disadvantages, entity set, attribute, components of ER diagram. These are the things we are going to see today. What is an entity relationship model? Peter Chase landmark paper in 1976. He says about the relationship model is towards a unified view of data, graphical representation of entities and their relationship have been given, and the entity relationship model based on entity, attributes and relationship. Entity is a thing about which data are to be collected and stored. For example, it is an employee. Attributes are characteristics of entity. Example, SSN, last name, first name, etc. Relationship describes an association between entities is 1 is to m, m is to n and 1 is to 1. Complements the relational data model concept, helps to visualize structure and content of data groups. Entity is mapped to a relational table. Tool for conceptual data modeling, high level representation represented in an entity relationship diagram. These are the things used here. Entity relationship model is a model for identify entities to be represented in the database and represent of how those entities are related. And the database design process, the ER model is most relevant to first three steps. One is RA, stands for requirement analysis. CDD stands for conceptual database design. LDD, logical database design. SR, schema refinement. PDD, physical database design. A and SD, application and security design. Advantages: exceptional conceptual exceptional conceptual simplicity. It consists of that easily viewed and understood representation of data, facilitated database design and management, integrate with the relational database models, enables better database design via conceptual model. The disadvantages used in ER model is incomplete model on its own, limited representational power, cannot model data, constraints not tied to entity relationship. For example, attribute constraints cannot represent the relationship between attribute within the entities, and the SQL stands for no data manipulation language is used, hard to include the attribute in ERD. And the next one is ER model. The purpose of ER model is the ER model allows us to sketch database schema designs. How we are sketching the database schema designs includes some constraints but not operations. Designs are picture called entity relationship diagrams, later converted ER design to relational DB designs. Next one is an entity set. Entity is nothing but it is a entity is known as a thing or an object. Entity set is a collection of similar entities similar to a class in object-oriented language. Attribute. Properties of an entity set. Attributes are simple values. Example, integrated or character, string, not structure, set, etc. Next one is the components of ER diagram. What are the components you are using it? First one, we are using entity relationship in a box, and the relationship in a diamond shape. In the circular shape, we are using attribute. In two rectangular, we are using weak entity. In two diamond, we are using weak entity relationship. Two circle, we are using multi-valued attribute. One circle with one underline, we are saying it as unique key or a key attribute. One circle pointed with two circles is known as a composite attribute. And for example, a car. Car is an entity and the attributes for this car are name and the manufacturer. Entity set car has two attributes. One is name and the manufacturer. Each car entity has values for those three attributes. Example, color and design and model. Relationship. A relationship connects two or more entity sets. It is represented by a diamond which lines to each of the entity sets involved. Next one is an example of relationship. Bars consist of what is the name of that bar, what is the address, what is whether they have license or not. Next one, beers, it has the name and manufacturers. The drinkers, they are named with name and addresses. Next one is bars sell some beers, drinkers like some more beers. These are the examples that we used here. Next one is an example of real-time application. Draw the ER diagram for banking system. We are going to create a banking system. In that the customer must have a customer name, ID, and the city where he is coming from. And the customer banker, employees with employee name, ID, address, and phone number. And the borrowers, who are they consist of loan with loan number, loan amount, etc. Branch city, branch name, assist, payment with account branch, payment number, loan payment, etc. These are all the examples we are going to we are seeing in this, and the models have been referred. Thank you so much for the video.